That is just my Just Roll puff pastry. And we are just going to roll that out. I have some slices of cheddar cheese, and I'm just going to lay them right down the center of our puff pastry. I'm not gonna go all the way to the end, but almost just like that. I have some soft scrambled eggs, and I'm just gonna take scoops of that and place it right on top of that cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like. We love cheddar, so that's what I'm using. One last scoop. I think that is perfect. I've got my spatula, and I'm just gonna spread that evenly right on top of that cheddar cheese. Just get a nice topping right on top of that cheddar cheese. I have some bacon that I cooked, and I'm just gonna lay that right on top of those soft scrambled eggs. You could use sausage, you could use ham. You could leave the meat off if you don't want the meat on your breakfast braid. Definitely, this is customizable. I think that's a nice amount of bacon. I've got some red and green peppers, and I'm just gonna lay that right on top, just like that. I think that's the perfect amount. Lastly, I have some Gruyere cheese that I shredded. You can definitely use whatever you like. This is one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a nice amount of that right on top. That is fine. I've got my knife, and we're just going to cut slits about 1 inch apart all the way down. And you wanna leave a little bit at each end because we'll fold that up to hold all that filling in. So just keep going. I love making braids. You can make desserts into braids, pizza into braids, just tacos, anything you like once you've got it down. We're gonna do the same thing on this side, just 1 inch apart all the way down till we get to the other end. All right, last one. So I'm just gonna cut these corners off and take those pieces to the side. I'm going to fold up the ends, so I'm gonna wanna cut the other end also. Take those little pieces off and fold that up. And once you've done that, you can start braiding it up. Just keep going until you have this completely covered with your braid of puff pastry. We are almost done with this part. Just keep going. I have an egg wash, and we're just going to brush the tops of this with the egg wash. That makes it look nice and shiny. If you don't want to do an egg wash, you could do melted butter if you wanted to, or you don't have to do either if you don't want to. That would be just fine too. I just really like how nice and golden this makes this breakfast braid look. Just a nice amount of that. I think we've got it pretty much all covered. How easy is that? Lastly, I need to use my homemade everything bagel seasoning. If you want the recipe, just let me know in the comments. I would be happy to share that with you. You also can just use store-bought. That works just fine also. So I'm just gonna get a nice coating of that seasoning right on top. We're laying our braid on a sheet pan that is lined with parchment paper. We're gonna bake this at 400 degrees. This is only gonna take 20 to 25 minutes or until this is nice and golden. Our breakfast braid is done. And it is so nice and golden, and it just took minutes. I'm gonna cut it into pieces. You can tell how crispy that is. Oh yeah. This is definitely a showstopper, but so simple. Okay, look at that. Okay, I've got my plate. Oh, I don't know, I'll just take one from the middle. Oh, look at all those layers, and look how hot that is. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set that on my plate. Easy breakfast braid. I know it's hot. Okay, those layers of flavor. Look at that. And how crispy this gets, and that everything bagel seasoning. It doesn't get any better than this. I hope you try it. Yum.